Welcome to Coaching Chronicles episode 2. As you know, in Coaching Chronicles, I take you through real life coaching case studies of people who had come to me for coaching with a problem statement and how I was able to give them a solution and how they were able to use that solution to their advantage, how they implemented those solutions and achieved tremendous success in their career and in their life. So today we are going to take up a case study where there was somebody who was not from a premier college, no IITs, no IIMs, and how she was able to achieve exponential success in her career through my coaching by using some of the solutions that I had given to her. Now, you would know that people who come from premier colleges like IITs, IIMs, in the corporate world, they have a different career trajectory. They get treated differently. And sometimes what happens is that people who don't come from those premier colleges, they feel that they are disadvantaged. They feel that they are getting treated differently. But through coaching, it is possible to build that belief in their minds that they are equally good and they can also achieve exponential success in their career. So in this case study, I'll take you through how people who have this disadvantage of not coming from premier colleges, how they can also achieve exponential success in their life, in their career. Hi, my name is Anjani B Kuumar and welcome to my channel. So today we are going to take up the case study of Rama Chowdhary. Now Rama came from a background which was not from a premier business school, and she came from a good college but obviously not from an IIT or an IIM, and I started coaching her when she was in her second job. And obviously because she did not come from a premier college, her initial placements were not in top ranked companies. And over a period of these couple of years, she started feeling that she's not growing as fast as some of the other people around her are growing who come from these colleges. And then somewhere she started not feeling very confident about her next move, how she would progress further. And she started doubting herself. And then that is the time I started coaching her. Now, my first point to her was that we have to accept the fact that we people who come from non-premier colleges, there is a different starting point for them. And there is no harm in that because there are only a very selected group of people who go to premier colleges. So your starting point is different and you accept it. And in the first 2-3 years, this feeling will come that there are some people around you who are getting treated differently. Because all the people who come from these premier colleges, obviously they get taken through a different career path. But after those 2, 3, 4 years, then the performance takes over. And that is the time you can do a lot through your performance. So when I saw Rama facing this problem, I told her that first you have to remove the self-doubt from your mind. First, you have to start believing that you are confident and you can still achieve success in spite of having this handicap. So that was the first lesson that I gave her. Secondly, what I told her, that her initial focus should be to get into a good company, a company which is well known, which is of a good size, where she can really get exposed to some of the best practices. And for that, she will have to really work hard. She will have to prepare herself, her personality, her presentation, her approach, her subject matter expertise, and that will help her in getting into a good company. So it took her around 6 months to get into a good company, a well-known brand, because she worked very hard on herself, and then she got a good entry point, and that's where she started gaining confidence. So this was the first problem that got solved. And then the second thing what I told her is that now her focus would be how she can stand out in front of her bosses, her company, vis-a-vis all other people who are working with her. And they may be coming from premier colleges, that's absolutely okay, but she should only focus on her work and do well. And to her credit, she really worked hard over the next 1 year. And she took some projects which really helped her in terms of stand out, in terms of getting noticed. And in just 1 year's time in her new company, she got promoted to the next level. And that really helped her in building more confidence. So that's where, this is one case study where one really was able to turn into a disadvantage to an advantage by really first accepting that there is a different starting point from which she was starting. Secondly, building that expertise inside her to present herself in front of the people who were decision makers differently, to stand out, and then consistently focusing on doing hard work, getting noticed, and keep getting promoted on a regular basis and moving very fast in her career. So just to jump a few years ahead, and she was able to actually take up a CXO level position in a large company. So there are a few learnings here which are very important from this case study of Rama Chowdhary, which I would like to share with you. So first, there is absolutely nothing wrong if you're not from a premier college. It's absolutely fine because not everybody can come from a premier B school, an IIT or an IIM. So that's absolutely okay. If you believe that you know your subject, you are prepared to work hard, you can still make tremendous progress in your life, in your career. That is very important. Thirdly, you have to accept your starting point is different, and there is absolutely nothing wrong about it. You should stop comparing yourself with all other people around you who probably come from those backgrounds or those premier colleges. There should not be any comparison. The comparison should only be with your own past, where you were and how you are moving. That is the only thing that you should focus on, and that will give you the confidence. Because if you start comparing, you will start losing confidence. Because as I said, in the first few years, there are some people who would get treated differently. So that's the next thing that you have to focus on. And then you have to keep working very hard. You will have to probably work doubly hard in the initial 3-4 years. That's very important, because that's where then this whole thing of your college versus your work really would stand out, because then you will start getting known for the quality of work that you are doing, not the college from where you have come. So you have to change the conversation, because in the initial years, the conversation is more around your pedigree, your college, your initial 1 or 2 companies. That is your job, to change this conversation to how hard you have worked, how fast you have been able to move in your career, what kind of projects you have taken, how you have been able to deliver extremely well on those projects, and how you have been able to stand out. So that's how you can really convert a disadvantage to an advantage, a handicap to something which will really help you in excelling in your career. So even if you are a non-IIT, non-IIM, absolutely nothing to worry. As you can see from the case study of Rama Chowdhary, that she was able to move very fast in her career, achieve a CXO position, achieve an 8-figure salary in rupee terms, and do extremely well in her career. So if you have liked this case study, give it a thumbs up, and I'm sure you would have learned a lot from this case study. So do share it with your family and friends, with all the people who could get benefited by this case study, and then I'll meet you with the next case study in episode 3. Till then, thank you very much for watching.